Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the Taevas webinar series, where we demystify market entry challenges and share insights and strategies for market launch and success in four segments, namely medical devices, personal care and beauty, food and dietary supplements, and pharmaceuticals. I'm thrilled to take you on a journey today. Our webinar topic is Global Market Expansion, Accelerate Your Growth with LR, which is commonly called as Legal Representation, and MAH, which is Marketing Authorization Holders. So buckle up as we explore how you can conquer new markets with ease and confidence. We wait for a couple of minutes for all the attendees to join and settle down. You can expect the session to unfold over the next 60 minutes. And to enhance your understanding, we'll urge you to use the Q&A section and ask for valuable information about today's topic or any queries you have for launching your product in a new market and how NLR can smoothen your journey. Should you have any questions, feel free to submit them through the question panel along with your email ID, please. That way, we'll gather all inquiries received today and respond to you in writing. I appreciate your interest in taking some time off your busy schedule to join us today. My name is Ishita Singh, and I'm the marketing head at Taevas, and I'm delighted to be your host for today's webinar organized by the Taevas webinar series. I lead the marketing and delivery verticals at Taevas Life Sciences, and I have a total of 8 years of work experience in building D2C brands and also working in the field of brand marketing, advertising, go-to-market strategy, e-commerce sales strategy, B2B sales, business development, client relations, and key account management. All right, with this, I will kick off the webinar and let's dive deep into the world of market launch. I welcome you all. So have you ever looked up at the sky and felt a sense of endless possibility? That's what Taevas means, sky in the language Estonian. Just like the sky, we believe that there are no limits to what you can achieve, and our mission is to help you reach those heights. Taevas is a leading market entry specialist company, providing a 360-degree brand custodianship and providing support to companies to launch their products as well as market and scale their businesses globally. A quick growth snapshot about Taevas. We've launched 258 brands in 4 different industries across the globe. Our clients have seen an average of 7 times improvement in their digital revenue, and we have presence in 23 plus countries. The agenda for today is packed with valuable insights. We'll do a deep dive into global market overview, move on to the global terminology for authorized agents. We'll decode the entry pathways into global markets and the critical role of an LR in market entry. We'll also explore global regulatory expertise that Taevas has to offer, the mistakes you can avoid while launching in new markets, our global presence and the industries we serve, and some of Taevas's clientele. What is the process that we follow for helping a client's launch in a global market, and why you must consider Taevas as an leading LR expert. The Taevas advantage that we provide to our clients, and also how Taevas has empowered market success as an LR to its client and a success story. Glad to have received some questions from our attendees before the webinar even started, and I will also be taking those pre-submitted questions to answer them for you at the end of the webinar. Imagine standing on the cusp of a booming market. The global pharmaceutical industry is set to hit $1.5 trillion by 2023, driven by breakthroughs in biotechnology and personalized medicine. Medical devices are also following suit, expected to reach $612 billion by 2025. And the cosmetics industry, it's blossoming and it's on track to reach $758 billion by 2025. The nutraceuticals industry is also following suit and it's about to hit 382 billion by 2020, reflecting rising health consciousness among consumers. So emerging markets like Asia Pacific, Latin America, and Africa are not just emerging, they are surging. With increased healthcare spending and urbanization, these regions are gold mines for businesses ready to expand. Companies working with market authorization holders have seen market entry times cut by 30% and market share growth by 25% in just 2 years. And at Taevas, we've empowered countless clients to successfully enter new markets as well. Our comprehensive end-to-end support and meticulous attention to local regulations ensure seamless compliance and market integration. So when a company aims to enter a new market, it often needs to comply with local regulatory requirements. This can be a complex and daunting task, given the diverse and stringent regulations that vary significantly from one country to another. So let's imagine you're a pharmaceutical company with a very innovative drug that's ready to be launched globally, and the opportunities are immense, as I just mentioned. But so are the challenges. Each market has its own set of rules, regulations, and compliance requirements. And this is where the role of a legal representative or an MAH becomes indispensable. So, a legal representative is a local entity or an individual appointed by a foreign company to act on its behalf within the target country. Let's break down the crucial role of an LR through some of the points. Let's look at regulatory compliance. So the legal representative, you can think of them as your trusted guide in a foreign land. So just as a seasoned navigator helps a ship steer through uncharted waters, you can imagine your LR to ensure that the company adheres to local laws and regulations. These laws can be a labyrinth and they differ vastly from one country to the next. So the LR's expertise ensures that your journey through these regulatory waters is very smooth and compliant. Now, if you've landed in a new country, try to communicate with them in a language that's not theirs, or in a language that you don't fully understand. And now the stakes are as high as the success of your product. So this is where the LR acts as your fluent translator. They seamlessly liaise with regulatory bodies that are local, and they also handle all the communications, submit the necessary documentation, and ensure that nothing is lost in translation. This direct line of communication is vital for timely approvals and also smooth operations. You can consider the LR as the guardian of your product in a new market. They are responsible for ensuring the safety and also the compliance of your products. And this is akin to a quality control officer who never rests. Okay. They make sure that your products meet all required standards, protecting both your company's reputation and the well being of your consumers. And the most important one, which is risk mitigation. So you can think of the LR as your shield against any unforeseen challenges of a new market. By having a local representative, your company can navigate potential legal and regulatory hurdles more effectively. And this reduces the risk of non-compliance and any associated penalties, much like an experienced climber who knows how to avoid the pitfalls when you have to go up the mountain path to succeed. So, as I mentioned earlier, understanding local terminology is like learning the language of opportunity in a new country. For instance, in India, it's the Indian Authorized Representative, but in the US, it's called the US Agent, and in the UK, it's the Market Authorization Holder. So, knowing these terms is your first step to seamless market entry. Let's explore the critical role of an LR MAH in market entry. Because we've established the LR and MAH as a trusted navigator in uncharted waters, they ensure that your regulatory compliance, it is market insights. They mitigate risks. They also accelerate your time to market by boosting your revenue from the get-go. Authorized agent can vary from one country to another. So in the EU, the MAH must be based within the EU and is legally responsible for the product. In the USA, similarly, the FDA requires a US agent for any foreign manufacturer. And in Japan, a market authorization holder must be a locally established entity, often referred to as the marketing approval holder as well. So it's very important for owners and founders to know that when they are launching in a new country, they need to know the lay of the land, and your local representative, your LR or your MAH, is the guiding light for you to cut through the clutter and also reduce your time to market. Let's decode some of the entry pathways into global markets. Now that we've understood what is an LR, who is an LR, what can they potentially do for you, and how to avoid all of the pitfalls, we must understand how can we even enter a new market. And there are a couple of ways to do that, which we'll be debunking right now. So the first one is partnering up with a distributor. You get quick access, but there's lesser flexibility. So it provides you with immediate access to their established network in the local community, along with valuable market insights because they've been in the market for some time now. But then there's the limitation of being bound to a single distributor, which could potentially restrict your market entry and your market reach and your a little bit of flexibility as well. What if you like to switch from a particular distributor and go to another one that gives you a broader access to market, but it is very difficult to switch now because you're bound to this distributor you started with? So, which is why switching to a new distributor would require a fresh product registration, and that adds to your operational complexities. And we don't want that. There are already so many complexities when you're trying to launch a new product in a completely new market. So, with all of these limitations in terms of protecting your IP, given their potential influence over your registration certificate, this becomes really complex. And therefore, one must consider when they are partnering up with a distributor if it is a short term process, if it is a long term partnership, and then they should take the appropriate decision. The second one is establishing your own company. So you have full control, but it is a long and weary road. Let's have a look at why is that. So you will have a dedicated in-house team on the ground because you're establishing a new company in a completely new country. You will combine your local expertise with your global vision. And therefore, you will also be able to manage the sales, marketing, customer service, which will provide you direct control over your growth. But then handling the regulatory compliance, ensuring adherence to local norms and guidelines is a very long road. We've seen ample number of clients come to us who have tried to take this path when launching in a new country, especially with complex rules and regulations, and they have got stuck and they had to restart the entire process, which has led to a lot of financial, the flexibility has been taken away from them. The kind of investment that they had to do completely got washed. So be very careful when you think about establishing your own company. As I said, you can gain full control, but it is a very long road. And therefore, the extended setup time could potentially lengthen your time to market, which is almost in all cases we've analyzed and observed happens. And therefore, it creates a delay in reaching the audience as well. Now, the last one is that we operate through an LR or an MAH to launch in a new market. Now, why this works really well is because you can fast track to compliance and market presence. And at Taevas, we also believe that while the first two really offer you, a mirage of things that you can do to get into a new country, but the third path is definitely the smartest one to unlock newer opportunities. Let's have a look. Why is that? So you will definitely benefit from faster time to market because we will have streamlined processes and established connections of the LR. One needs to understand that the LR has been operating in the market for a very long time. They've worked with not one, not two, but over 1,000 clients. They've worked with so many clients that they know at which step of the process what kind of complexities can come, and with what kind of documentation, what kind of support is required. So therefore, collaborating with an LR and MAH ensures compliance with all local regulatory requirements. They know the lay of the land, they know the officers, they know the regulatory advisory, the bodies sitting on the top, and they've heard everything that there is, that at this point in time, this kind of a process could probably throw you off. So you can leverage the LR's market knowledge as well, because they've worked with so many clients. They kind of know how the market is headed, in which direction it is headed, what kind of gains can you expect in a certain time period with your market, and the kind of distributor connections also to reach the right customers, because they are in the thick of things. You will also receive comprehensive sales support and while your business operates under the LR's name. So these are some of the benefits and one of the smartest ways to unlock new opportunities. So global regulatory expertise. Our expertise spans the globe from the US to the EU, UK, Switzerland, and also China. And we handle all regulatory requirements, ensuring that your products meet local standards and get to market without a hitch. So these are some of the terms that you can expect when you enter a new market. In United States, you need to get US market access. That's the common verbiage that is used, and US agent is something that is commonly called upon to help you navigate the regulatory complexities. Similarly, in Europe, it is called something differently. In UK, Switzerland, they have their own kind of language and verbiage and the colloquial terms that one needs to understand if you're entering these kind of markets. So over here, we've only shown you the like good markets that clients usually try to go for, and most of the clients request for countries like these. Therefore, we've shown you this snapshot. But keep in mind that Taevas also has presence in over 23 plus countries. So if you have any market that you think you want to launch, but it is not mentioned over here, feel free to drop in the Q&A section, feel free to drop a question. You need to understand anything else from us. Our LR experts will get back to you. We'll answer all of the questions for you, because we also understand that every brand, every product has completely different regulatory compliances that they have to follow with respect to their products. It could be a novel device, it could be an ingredient formulation. We don't know. So please don't hesitate to reach out, and we'll get back to you very shortly on this. So the most important slide, in my opinion, mistakes to avoid while launching in new market. So avoiding pitfalls is half the battle won. And the common mistakes that are included are basically not understanding local laws and regulations, right? So overlooking all of the local regulations, thinking that whatever our documentation is comprehensive and robust, and we don't need to worry about whatever we are submitting. But here's where most of the clients go wrong. So expanding abroad means dealing with different legal systems. And if we do not understand these local laws, the local colloquial terms around setting up entities, hiring, taxes, one is bound to quickly run into major hurdles. And businesses are often forced to halt operations as well. We've seen this happen multiple times for not understanding the permits required. So, in the interest of saving your money, capital, effort, time, energy, we urge you to either thoroughly study or take the support of a professional who can help you do this. Okay. Getting entangled in compliance issues. So even if you're thorough with your homework, compliance can trip you up. There are different data privacy standards, there are different product regulations, there are different employment laws that apply from market to market. And businesses rack up fines and face lawsuits that could have been easily avoided with the right kind of guidance and counsel. And skirting compliance is a very risky business. Anybody who's launched a business knows this pretty well. Ignoring local disputes and liabilities and increasing your exposure. So without guidance from a thorough professional, an expert professional, you will not be able to grasp the unique risks that come associated with each market. Local businesses disputes can also erupt because you have competitors in a new market and you've not done your due diligence, and therefore somebody is coming and like claiming something on your launch, which is not something we want. So not understanding this kind of dispute resolution and laws may put you at a very huge disadvantage right in the beginning of your launch itself, and which can set you back by a couple of months, if not years. So businesses do sink time. We've seen that, and money as well. A lot of capital goes into this, and these deals have gone bad that proper counsel could have potentially prevented. Okay. So, failing to protect intellectual property, neglecting this step is also something we've seen lots of clients do. The trademarks, the patents, and other IPs may not be protected when you move into a new country because of the set of rules and regulations that come along with launching in a newer market. And therefore, an attorney can help you file for protection to defend your competitive advantage. So, this commonly happens with all of the four segments that I've mentioned earlier, be it pharmaceutical, be it medical devices, or personal care and beauty, any specific new ingredient, novel ingredient. We've seen this happen. And like if you don't protect your IP, you are at risk of your ideas getting eroded and getting mishandled. And with your hard-won brand equity in your original market, like it puts you at risk for sure. Skipping any crucial contract details while entering a new country. You will need a new distributor, vendor, some partnership agreements as you expand. But without proper contracts, NDAs, you have no legal recourse if your deals, go awry, if your deals go sour. So a legal representative can draft agreements that protect your interests in the new territory. This is also very critical because these are hard-bound legal agreements that will stand the test of time in case there are things that are not going your way and some unforeseen circumstances has come up. So far we've covered a lot of ground on mistakes that you should avoid. What is the role of an LR image? And I'm sure you might have some questions popping up. Please do use the Q&A section to share your questions with me along with your email IDs, and our LR experts will get back. And now let's have a look at Taevas's global presence. So with a robust global presence, as you can see on the screen, Taevas provides a gateway to markets worldwide. Our local expertise ensures that you navigate the regulatory landscape with ease. And also, the presence that we have currently spans 23 plus regions, 23 plus countries, with an ever expanding global footprint. So this allows us to have hyper local context of the region and also help our clients with the best local insights, market intelligence, and prepping them for launch with a comprehensive suite of services that companies can choose from to gear up the perfect data-driven market launch. So this has helped our clients shorten their time to market, and it has helped them skyrocket into success within as less as 6 months of launch as well. So the industries that we serve are four at the moment, which are namely medical devices, pharmaceuticals, food and dietary supplements, and cosmetics or personal care and beauty. A quick snapshot of the kind of services that we offer. We've bucketed it into three different verticals, namely Global Connect, Commerce Connect, and Digital Connect. And the legal representation service or the MAH service falls under the Global Connect because that literally enables you to connect your brand globally and launch in different markets. But we have a lot of other services as well that will help you set up for a successful launch, which are namely product registration, handle your customs and shipments. Once you've done the product registration, what is next? You need to get your products physically to that particular region. So you need some custom support, you need some shipment support, you need some documentation support over there as well. We do provide that. And then after the products have reached, you need a physical space to store those products at some place. So we also have warehousing support available in multiple regions. You need an inventory management, somebody to handle those inventories for you, right? So that's also available. And similarly, we have access to so many distributors, vendors, partners across the globe because of our footprint, global footprint. that we also have a lot of distributors with us that we can provide support with. So in case you need help with finding a distributor for distributing your product, or you want to find vendors, partners to expand your footprint, we also have that kind of support available for you. Okay, we also provide support for go-to-market strategy and giving you some market insights, doing your market intelligence, etc. Moving on to Commerce Connect, everything that you can think of to set you up for success in a more commercial way, be it online or offline, we help with that. We have product distribution, as I mentioned earlier. You need some kind of sales enablement. One will need some kind of brochures, offline collaterals. We do help with that. And quickly moving on to Digital Connect, everything that you can think of to establish your digital presence is available with us. We can help you with your social media management, search engine marketing. You need a competitor analysis or influencer marketing. Everything is available, even branding and advertising services. And bear in mind that this is not uh, a clubbed service. You can go a la carte and you can cherry pick the services that you want to launch. Like I mentioned, legal representation is a standalone service. So clients come and take just legal representation sometimes as well because they want help with that at that point in time. And at a later point in time, once they are through legal representation, they come to us for establishing a brand identity online or helping them with distributor support and warehousing support. So this is just a seamless market entry procedure for clients because they can find everything in one place and they don't have to run all over the place in a newer market to understand where do I go, what do I do, what should be my next step. So in the interest of not overwhelming yourself, please do consider reaching out to us for any questions that you might have. So moving forward, what does the process look like when we are talking about entering a new market? So you can reach out to us. We can help you with initial consultation. We can understand your product needs and the product specifics. We can help you with an agreement and documentation. So we can formalize the services and prepare any necessary documentation that you have. Maybe you got stuck before and you need help with just that. You want to understand how to cross this specific hurdle. We can help you with that as well. Step 3 is liaising with authorities on your behalf, and then we commence our representation services and communicate with local authorities. And step 4 is an ongoing support. So our support will continue no matter which step of the process you are, ensuring that the product remains compliant throughout. And here's where it gets interesting. We keep you apprised of every step of the process, and there are times when our LR experts have predicted beforehand that something like this could potentially occur, harming the process, and therefore they have taken proactive steps and preempted that particular step. So it's very crucial that whichever LR you choose, please be thorough with the kind of support that they have provided to their previous clientele and the kind of understanding they have about the local processes. So do your due diligence on that. So why should one consider to partner up with Taevas? It's important that you have a local legal entity. We've established that. That can ensure your regulatory compliance and also handle your customs clearance, submit documents on your behalf, guide you through the process, not only with the registration and the compliance bit, but also what should be potential next steps because they know all the stakeholders involved in getting prepping up a market launch properly. And therefore, there comes a certain business confidentiality and security as well that one needs to vest the LR with. And with Taevas, we provide all of these services in a very comprehensive manner. And because we've worked with a lot of clients across Fortune 500 companies, they've entrusted us with the most confidential data as well. But we've, with a 100% success rate, we've helped all of our clients go through the legal foothold in newer territories. So we can act as your legal entity, all right? And this is important for businesses not establishing a permanent base in newer markets. They don't want an upfront investment. They want to test the waters, right? So you can expect us to guide you through that. The regulatory compliance bit, as I've already mentioned, with the local, state, national regulations, any tax laws, any import-export regulations that you might have. And in the upcoming webinars, we are also going to dive deeper into all of the laws and the import-export regulations that I'm mentioning. But in this webinar, we are roughly covering on a much more umbrella level about what you can expect if you embark on this journey and what you should ideally know. But in the upcoming webinars, we'll do a deep dive in, what does the process actually look like. And if you have any questions, we'll also try to cover that and tailor our webinar according to those questions. So document submission, very important. We'll submit all the necessary documents to the respective agency, obtain some permits and licenses on your behalf, ensure the confidentiality and the security. Any kind of sensitive information that we should be mindful of to not expose you. And for any unnecessary risk, we take all of that into account. And also custom clearances, as I mentioned previously, we facilitate that customs clearance process as well, paying duties and taxes on behalf of the foreign business. Uh, we also liaison with regulatory bodies. So there is direct interaction with the bodies such as US FDA, CTSCO, whichever new market you're going into, we have direct interactions with them. We also ensure that all products comply with any kind of, if you're launching in India, for example, then Indian standards and regulation. If you're launching in US, then so on and so forth. So any adverse events, we've seen this happen also. We ensure that there is a system in place and that the clients are also kept informed, and there's a system in place for reporting adverse events or issues related to the products imported, because timely intervention is something that is very important in these categories. So very, very critical in sectors like pharmaceutical and medical devices. So the timely intervention can only happen if you have a very proactive legal representative. Market withdrawal, it so happens sometimes that there could be an event of a product recall or withdrawal. So your legal representative will act as a liaison between the client and the respective agency to manage that process end to end in accordance with the country laws. And this will include notifying the authorities, managing the logistics, and also conducting any required follow-up actions, any more documentation to be provided, or any other fines to be taken care of. So these are some points. So let's look at the Taevas advantage. As your market entry partner, we have a lot of navigational expertise, as I've already established. So deep knowledge of local regulations is very, very important. And we also identify some potential distributors for the products and also facilitate those initial connections. And in the future, clients can either choose to lead the further development of these distributor relationships themselves, or we can also try and handhold them and take them to completion. And the commercial partnership bit, along with being your IAR, we can also act as your centralized distributor in certain territories. We identify and appoint local distributors in different regions and also create a very wide and efficient distribution network. So you can focus on your core business and you can leave the complexities of distribution to be handled by your commercial partner, which could be Taevas. And as your operational partner, we also initiate the process of building your local presence in India. So you don't have to go through the route of, hey, I want to establish a company in India at this point in time. You could choose to partner up with an LR, with a legal representative, and we can initiate the process of building your local presence as well at a later stage. So what that does is it prevents your capital to be invested in one place all at the same time. So we can put together a dedicated team who takes charge of the sales, of the partnerships, and manages the nuances of your day-to-day business operations. So therefore, we call this the BOT model, which is nothing but we build the infrastructure and set up the processes for you. We operate the business on your behalf. And whenever you feel ready, we can transfer the control to you. We have successfully done the BOT model with a couple of our clients, and they've really appreciated that the time to market was quite fast. And then in the hiring processes or setting up the team also was fairly easy, because we almost acted as a vendor partner for them to do all of this for them. And we did the hygiene work as well for them. So they simply got a setup model for them to handle directly and then work with us as well as a local they were leaning on us as their local expertise, and also the market intelligence bit was facilitated for them. So we've seen quite a bit of success when it comes to leveraging Tavis, not only with your legal representation, but also as your market entry partner, as your commercial partner, and as your operational partner. So Tavis has empowered a lot of clients with their market success as a legal representative and market authorization holder. And therefore, the navigational expertise, the deep knowledge of local regulations, we ensure that you can efficiently navigate those complex regulatory landscape efficiently. The speed to market is something that is very critical because we have significantly reduced lead times for market entry and distribution by providing direct access to the distributors and to the network. And also the cost efficiency, because we've leveraged the local knowledge of our networks and of our partners and of our teams, and we've optimized the processes and we've negotiated better rates also for logistics and other services, which do translate into cost savings when you talk about scale. Okay. So when launching your product in a new market, the excitement is pretty high, but so are the stakes. And navigating the maze of these regulatory requirements can be very daunting with the risk of customs non-compliance. We've seen clients fall into this trap of non-compliance of customs or legal issues, and they are lurking at every corner. And therefore, at Tavis, we have safeguarded these procedures because we meticulously ensure that every regulatory box is ticked, and at our end the processes are very rigorous. So the procedural requirement is met and we keep the client surprised as well. This not only keeps the launch on track but also minimizes risks, and we let the focus of the business growth with peace of mind for the clients. Now you can also imagine that your product is making waves in a new market, but suddenly an unexpected issue arises and the client is sitting miles away, and time is of the essence over here because you need to be really agile and quickly respond to the authorities. So this is where Tavis help really shines. We do provide a local point of contact who can address any problems very swiftly and effectively, and this local presence is vital for managing operations remotely, ensuring that any hiccups are resolved quickly and the business continues to run smoothly. So with Tavis, we are never far from a solution, no matter where our clients are based off. So let me share a success story of our esteemed client with you. We helped a Sweden-based IVD medical device manufacturer navigate the launch in the Indian market. And through careful planning and regulatory expertise, we secured their import license, which they had a little bit of trouble obtaining earlier, and the market approval for that very swiftly. So this is the kind of success we aim for with every client. So these kind of case studies will tell you where these pitfalls could arise and how and what you can do to avoid these. So they approached us to seek assistance in obtaining an import license, and also for market approval for their market entry. So we did a gap analysis. We evaluated their problem statement and we understood that there were some gaps that they had clearly missed out. So we wrote to the CDSCO, which is the local regulatory authority, for clarification on the device category and the class that in India, and submitted the MD14 IVD application as per the checklist that was provided. So then we also strategize about the next step so that we don't miss out on any steps. And there were certain challenges that we did observe. It was hard to find the predicate in India, as it was one of a kind device to be registered as IVD in India. And there was very less documentation on IVD. So these are navigating really ambiguous waters. And one cannot truly know what the next step of the process will look like. So we need to be prepared from all four sides. So we did a detailed gap analysis, remediated the gaps after multiple communications with the client and the regulatory body as well. And this is the process that we had followed. So we considered the approach of going ahead with the international predicate because of the murky waters of the local communication. So we considered going ahead with the international predicate and justifying that the device is not a novel device and we have few similar devices available in the Indian market. So once we provided that justification, we also visited for an in-person technical presentation at CDSCO office at Delhi. and tried to provide justification for each query raised by CDSCO. So that's the extent of the support provided by Taevas for its client, that even if it is required for us to visit for an in-person visit, we are more than happy to do that on behalf of the client. And this has not only saved a lot of dollars for our clients, but also unnecessary a disruption of peace of mind, sitting in a different country, trying to speak a different language with the local authorities. It is not an easy thing to do. Let me tell you, we've seen so many clients struggle at this point. So the successful market entry did happen, and we were able to justify the queries in the technical presentation, and the application was approved within the timeline without any further queries. And that was such a massive win for the client, because the client had almost given up that this is not going to move, and maybe this market, we should, like, they were almost like giving up on the market. But we were able to answer all the questions successfully, and this was the very first kind of IBD approved in India as well. So these are the kind of breakthroughs that we've had with the client, right? And these are such important wins because they set the precedent for the future as well. In the future, if clients are coming, then we also know what to predict. So the decision making and the prediction is a very crucial part to enable the timelines for our clients, because costs are associated, budgets are associated, and we want to remove all the complexities for our clients. So it was a very informative and learning experience for the client, but also for Taevas as well, for all future applications. And we were able to manage without proper predicate in India, and we managed to convince CDSCO to approve the license under single application for one of their accessories, which could have fallen under separate medical device application, for which the client might have to invest a little bit more. But we were able to remove all of that and then win the approvals for our clients. So this is what the client had to say. Taevas was able to help us in the India market within the stipulated timeline, as well as gaining the import license and product approval without any hassle. And that's what businesses need today. The hassle needs to get removed as quickly as possible, so that time to market is shortened, because time is of essence when you're conducting a market launch. There are competitors waiting to get out there and to get the first mover advantage. And we've seen it in so many spaces now happening, that it's crucial that time should be given the topmost priority along with the costs. So with this, I come to the end of the presentation. And now let's discuss and address some of your pre-submitted questions, which we loved reading. And thank you so much for submitting these questions. Quickly going through the first question. So who is an LR? The legal representative is an LR, and it is a locally registered entity with the agency. They are authorized to submit registration applications, as I mentioned, on behalf of foreign manufacturers, and they also serve as a liaison between the agency and the foreign manufacturer. So a lot has been already told about LR. MAH is very similar to LR. There are some very minor differences because these terminologies vary from region to region, as I showed you before. And please don't worry, we'll provide the recording to you. Please drop a mail to us, or please drop your mail in the Q&A section. We'll also give you the recording. Don't worry about that. So what are the key factors you consider when determining the feasibility of entering a new market? This was a really good question, because clients need to understand that if an article in Economic Times has mentioned that this is a very sparring market and it's a burgeoning market, that's not enough. That's not enough to understand the feasibility of moving into a new market, because there are multiple factors one must consider. You must consider market sizing and the potential and the regulatory environment, the cultural acceptance of the product, the competitive landscape that we have. Who are these people who are already present offering the same kind of services, right? What kind of economic stability you might find when you enter a new market. Time to market is also very important, because you potentially cannot take 18 months or like 2 years to launch into a new market, right? In today's day and age, clients want to launch ASAP. So we enable that by, seamless experiential ways that I mentioned before in the presentation. So the third question is, which products import would require an LR? So LR is required for any foreign company that wants to launch its product in different countries. It's as simple as that. Please follow this, and I think you should be in a good space. Question number 4, is it possible to appoint more than one legal representative for the same product? Yes, a foreign manufacturer can have multiple LRs. Question 5, can you provide a brief overview of the key regulatory bodies and processes for product registration in our target markets? All right, so our team has developed a thorough understanding of key regulatory bodies in the target markets, which can include the FDA, EMA, TGA, NMPA. Now, I know these terms might sound very confusing, but please feel free to drop the same question for your target market, and please give us some context about the product, and I'll be sure to get our legal experts to legal representative experts to answer that for you. So how do you ensure compliance with differing privacy laws related to patient information in various countries? So this is more on the side of medical devices and pharma. So we have a strict compliance protocol for managing and protecting any kind of patient information, or patient information can also be treated as any sensitive data. It can be in any category. It can be nutraceutical, where they've shared some kind of sensitive ingredient formulation with us. Or some kind of like medical device where they've shared a technology with us. So there are strict compliance protocols, and there should be. So please be very mindful when you're selecting a legal representative, because sensitive data is shared, patent information is shared, intellectual property information is shared, and these are very heavy data sets that companies cannot risk getting leaked. So our data handling procedures are fully compliant with GDPR and HIPAA and other relevant privacy laws in different countries. So if you have any question with respect to your choice of the country that you want to launch, and you have any questions on the privacy laws you cannot understand, please share it with us. Do you have a strategy for obtaining formulary approval from insurance companies and healthcare providers in the target countries? So this was a very new question. And it's interesting to note that our approach already included developing a detailed understanding of the insurance and the healthcare provider landscape in each target market. Okay, so we do have strategies to secure the said approval and can facilitate negotiations wherever necessary. So this could be very product specific, brand specific, company specific, region specific. So please feel free to get back to us on that front. And if there's anything that that you think we need more context for, please provide that. Give us your email IDs. We'll get back to you on that. All right. So with this, we have addressed all of your pre-submitted questions. We have talked about all of the things that one should keep in mind when launching in a new market, along with global terminologies for authorized agents. We've discovered the kind of entry pathways you can expect to enter into any global market, the critical role of an LR or an MAH, why is it so important, and all of the processes that Taevas also deploys today. You can map those Taevas processes to any of the agencies you choose to work with, but our aim over here is to provide the value to you so you can ignore and you can sideline all of the pitfalls and not waste any of your precious time, energy, effort, and capital. So thank you so much, everyone, for attending this webinar and for joining us today. As I mentioned earlier, for any questions, requests, or further assistance, please do reach out to us as Taevas Life Sciences. We are here to help you achieve your global market expansion dreams. And thank you so much again. Have a wonderful day.